is Jennifer Marchane, and I'm a dancer and performer at Leigh Purtill Ballet Company. And I've been asked to share today the very easy tutorial of making yourself look like a zombie ballerina. So some of you might be familiar with our show and performed it in various settings, including on the Gong Show, on various Halloween and horror conventions, and of course in our show. So this is a very easy, simple look. It's actually inspired by the George Romero Night of the Living Dead look. You only need a few items to get this look. So I'm going to just take you through the items that I use. You can use whatever items you can get your hands on. It's relatively inexpensive. I use something called Zombie Gray. I'm gonna do one of these things here. You can find this at any Party City, if you can still find Party City, or any, Amazon might carry this, but it's a Zombie Gray. It's very simple, water-based, washable gray. And I also use any really light foundation. So this is what I use for my face. Obviously you're gonna want to tone this to your liking based on your complexion. And these two I mix together, and I kind of do this on the back of my hand, and I have a simple brush that I use, and I'm gonna probably use one of these little cosmetic wedges, and I use the dark brown in here, so you can use any dark brown. Again, try to match this to your complexion. So if you're a lighter, fairer tone person, you want to, kind of get something that's more along the lines. There's, of course, like the lighter brown. This doesn't really make any impression on the skin, but the darker brown has more of a good tone to it. I usually wet my cosmetic wedge, and then my hair's usually back for zombies, these bangs. So I'm gonna probably just pull these back a little bit. And then I just take a little bit of foundation, and then I mix in a little bit of the gray. So you're gonna have to play with the tone a little bit. The reason I do this is because the gray by itself, if you were just to put that gray right on your skin, it has a bluish tint to it. So here's the tone. So you can kind of see it's coming through there, a little bit grayer. And again, that's mixing the light with the gray. But this is actually a little too, I'm using the other side where it's not wet. It's a little too pale. So I'm kind of smoothing it out to get it to absorb onto here. We've had to do this look really, really fast in some cases, so that's why it's a very simple but very effective look when you're on stage and the lights are hitting, and with the costume, it really does have a good effect. So I just go all over my face with this. This is a look that you really need to get familiar with your facial structure, and you want to fill in all around the eyes. It should look like this is your skin tone. And you would work this all the way down your neck. I wear a costume that has just sort of like straps here, so I'd work it all the way down as much as I can so it blends in to my skin tone. I'm blending in as much as possible. So now I just take the darkest brown, which is, as you can see, this is well loved and well used. I take the darkest brown, and I'm going to start gradually adding. So one of the things I always tell those who are sort of doing this for the first time is you want to add slowly and gradually, because it shouldn't look like you have two dark circles under your eyes. It should look like you've been dead for a little while and you haven't had any sleep in a long time. but you would start just gradually adding underneath the eye. Doesn't really take all that much for me to get this look going. And blending this in. I know that you can be fancier with your makeup, but I just kind of go for it with this because it's okay if it's a bit messy. And I go right underneath the eye here. And then over across the eye here. And when I say gradually, like, I like the look to be darker in here and then sort of gradually come out to the normal skin tone here, because I think that looks a little more realistic and a little more dead. I do not, when I normally do this look on stage, I don't usually fill in my eyebrows. I leave those blank. What I do, and I won't do it here because you all know how to probably line your own eyes, but I line my eyes with a dark liner, black, dark brown, and I also do, you know, your normal lining the eye completely. So it helps to put depth into the eye socket and kind of brings out the eye in that way. That's getting there. Do the other side. Follow the natural bags under your own eyes. That's what I say. You don't have bags under your eyes. You're gorgeous. You guys are gorgeous. So what I said earlier about knowing your own face is what I do with my own look is I emphasize the cheekbones for the sunken in look. I also emphasize right underneath the nose to give that a little bit more of a sunken in look. When I work in the makeup to my neck, I also work in these areas here, and I'll show that in a bit here. I'm gonna make a face, and I'm gonna start pressing in the dark here, because if you look at your face like structurally, if you were a skull, this would show up as a shadow. So I try to emphasize those shadow areas to make it look like I'm, dead looking. And I do use my finger a lot of the times to really make this smooth in and look natural. There's also a little pocket here by your temple that, if you emphasize that, can also be pretty effective in that skull look. So it has sort of that depth. Okay. I also take a little bit, this is probably not the right brush for this. If you have a more narrow brush, you can work it into where the nose is. And as you can see already, it's giving that look of sunken in. For the performance and for what we've always done, there's no lipstick, there's nothing like that we use. Typically we just go over our lips with the gray mixture. Of course, as I'm talking, it kind of comes off. So this is something that I also have to reapply during a show. As you can see, this is starting to become a little more character driven. We typically don't add any like gore or I've added things in the past, like little blood coming down my mouth. You can do that, it's very simple. You can take some red or darkish red lipstick and add it here and just sort of emphasize it going down. Whatever you feel like doing, it's your own character at that point. But the basics, the basic fundamentals of this look, again inspired by the George Romero type look, is this essentially. So have fun with it and become, you know, you can do this for zombie ballerina or you can do this for zombie in general, but it's fun to play with. And again, this can be just the basis of whatever you can create with your own character. So hopefully you found this helpful, and thanks so much for letting me do this for you, and have a great day. Bye.